Hello, beautiful people from all around this planet. We're going to talk about some charges being dropped. Now, don't get nervous. They're smaller charges than what she has on her now. So they traded up. They put the bigger conspiracy charge for concealing evidence on her and Chad, and they took away this charge. And I'm going to read you what East Idaho News said about the charges being dropped. So this is out of Rexburg, and it's out of the East Idaho News. 2 felony counts of desertion and non-support of children against Lori Vallow Daybell were dismissed Thursday. The change to Daybell's charges come 3 weeks after police discovered the remains of her 2 kids, 7-year-old Joshua J.J. Vallow and 16-year-old Tylee Ryan, buried on Chad Daybell's property. On Monday evening, Madison County Prosecutor Rob Wood filed 2 felony counts of conspiracy to commit destruction, alteration, or concealment of evidence against Lori Vallow Daybell. Fremont County Prosecutor Attorney Marsha Murdoch asked Wood to take on the case as it ties in closely with the charges in Madison County. Court records indicate Daybell is still charged with a misdemeanor counts of resisting and obstructing an officer, solicitation of a crime, and contempt of court. Let me read that one more time. Court records indicate Daybell is still charged with misdemeanor counts of resisting and obstructing an officer, solicitation of a crime, and contempt of court. The misdemeanor charges, as well as the felony charges dismissed, were originally filed when police arrested Daybell in Kauai back in February. Police then extradited her back to Rexburg in early March. Chad Daybell is also charged with 2 felony counts of conspiracy to commit destruction, alteration, or concealment of evidence, and 2 felony counts of destruction, alteration, or concealment of evidence. Police did not arrest Chad Daybell until they discovered the remains of the children. Police say that the couple conspired to willfully and knowingly combine, conspire, confederate, and agree to commit destruction, alteration, or concealment of evidence. The evidence is the remains of JJ and Tylee, according to court documents. A preliminary hearing scheduled for Lori Vallow Daybell next week has been canceled. Her next court appearance is scheduled in Fremont County on August 10th and 11th. So there you have it, folks. The charges for her deserting and not supporting her children have been dismissed. They were 2 felony charges, but they have dismissed them because now she faces the 2 charges of concealing, altering, destructing evidence. So, and then Chad has the other two. Chad has conspiring, and so Chad has actually 4 charges against him, and Lori has, I believe, 2 charges against her, one for each children. He has one of concealing the evidence for each children. Then he has one for conspiring to conceal. So he actually has 4 charges, 2 for each children. So don't get too upset when you hear that charges have been dropped. They have only been dropped on the lesser charge. This was put out by Eric Grossath from the East Idaho News. He published this yesterday afternoon at 4:40 p.m. on July 2nd. And I am sure, as we all know, as time goes on, we have the 2 big fish, the 2 big kahunas, but we're waiting for the little kahunas, the little fishies. You know that there's going to be charges coming down the pike, coming down the dirty river. Probably, I would hope so, for Melanie Pawlowski. And there is no question in my mind that they could charge Janis Cox right now, right here and now, for the lying to the officers, if that's what she did indeed do, about the records of talking to JJ. As you well know, it has caused me quite pain to listen to her on 48 Hours, where she goes on and on about this so-called conversation with JJ on October 1, and she showed evidence of such by a telephone bill. As you well know, that the evidence is clear at this point, and it is all leading to the fact that JJ had already expired by the time October 1 came around. So Janis Cox, get ready for the handcuffs. And no, they're not going to make Letitia Stouch's handcuffs for you. They'll make sure they're nice and tight. So with that said, people, don't get excited. There's going to be more heavier charges down the pike. As I've said before, and as I always say, please, the world is beautiful, but there's ugly hidden here and there. Watch out for the ugly. You never know when you're amongst it. Keep your eyes peeled.